Welcome to DawnsBodyShop.com. Today we'll be doing some stretching exercises. Make sure that you warm up before doing these exercises. If you feel pain while performing the exercises, stop. You should feel a gentle pull in the muscle, but you shouldn't feel any pain in your joints. So go easy going into the stretches. I'm sorry, Roxy, but you're too noisy with that. Roxy likes to make herself present during my stretching videos. So, just take your time going through the exercises. Remember, if you feel pain, you want to stop or leave that exercise out. So we'll begin by just doing a quick little warm-up. So we're going to start by inhaling, reaching up, and exhaling, reach away. So inhale, reach up, and exhale, reach away. And lift. If it doesn't feel right to lift your arms up over your head, you can go up halfway. So going to the front, so you reach forwards and back. So inhale, reach forwards and back. So you open between your shoulder blades. And we'll go for 3 and 2 and 1. Very good. So let's take your arms and we'll reach up to the ceiling and then just press ears between your arms. Lift your sternum to the sky. So you're lifting up in just a gentle reach back. And then we'll bring your hands behind your back, clasping your hands together, reaching to your tail and opening across the front of your shoulders. Standing tall through the top of your head, nice and strong through those legs. And then taking your hands, clasping them in front of you, press your palms forwards, round your back, and look down towards your toes. So you're deepening into your abdominals. Very good. So letting your arms rest by your side, we're going to reach your right hand as if trying to touch your ankle, your left arm up to the sky. So you reach in opposite directions and then just a slight lean over. Make sure you keep those abdominals drawn in so you're not arching through your back. Lifting out of both sides, so be careful not to collapse into your right side. And switch sides, so reaching towards your left ankle, right arm up to the sky, reach up and over, stretching through that right side, keeping your abdominals drawn in. And back to center and rest. So we'll shake that out. So we're going to take your right hand and see if you can grab it with your left hand behind you. And then if it's available, you take your right hand over towards your left side. So just give a gentle pull over towards the left side, moving to your body's natural range of motion. And then just standing tall, see if you can feel a nice stretch through that right side. You can add on by tipping your head over to the left. So you're stretching your ear away from your shoulder. And then rotate your chin towards your underarm. Now holding each stretch about 15 seconds. You can hold a little bit longer if you feel like you need that stretch a little bit more. And you can always do the same stretch twice. So if you want to come out of it and then go back, especially if another stretch doesn't feel right to you. So going back to center, this time you're going to lift your cheek up to the sky. So you're stretching the front of your neck. Just nice and gentle. And then we'll go to the other side. So you take your left hands to the right side and ear over to the right side. And if you feel this without moving your head over to the side, you can just hold. It should just feel like a gentle stretch between your ear and your shoulder. And then bring your chin to your underarm. And then lift your cheek to the sky. Just nice and easy. Very good. Back to center. Shake that out. So we're going to take your right arm, and this time bring your right arm straight out in front. And then if you take your left arm, keeping that right arm straight, pull it across your chest. So you're trying to stretch the back of your right shoulder. And if you wanted to add on, you could look towards your right shoulder, and sometimes you feel that stretch a little bit more. And use your breath. Nice deep breaths in and out, opening through your back. And we'll switch sides. So we'll take your left arm straight out in front and pull your left arm over towards your right side, keeping that left arm straight and chin towards your shoulder. Just go to the range of motion that works for you. So you might not get your arm all the way across. You might have a little less range of motion through that shoulder. So you work towards your body. And back to center, and we'll shake that out. So we're going to take your arms out to a T position and bring your palms up towards the ceiling. So this should stretch through your arms, your biceps. And if you want, you can drop your fingertips to the floor. And turn your hands in the opposite direction, fingers up. You need to rest your arms for a quick second here, that's fine. Then if you wanted to take your thumb into your palm and make a fist. And let's shake that out. So we're going to do one more thing with your arms out to the side. So you bring your arms out like the T again. So you want to take one hand so your palm faces the ceiling, the other hand towards the floor, and then twist in opposite directions from one another. And then reverse that. So one hand up, the other hand's down. And reverse that. So think unwinding your collarbone. And do one more to each side. And back to center. So I like to do a little ragdoll arm. So if you just stand nice and straight and pull your belly button towards your spine. You curl your nose towards your sternum, soft bend to your knees, and hang forward just until your arms like line up with your knees, or your fingertips line up with your knees, and just let your arms kind of hang and let your arms swing around. Make sure you keep that belly button to your spine. Make sure it feels okay to your back to be in this position. And just trying to loosen between your shoulder blades. And then reverse. And then nice and slow roll up. And here we'll take another nice deep breath in. Press that away. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. So see if I can get Roxy off of the mat. I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit so you can see better. I am in her room today because every other room in the house has Christmas decorations in it. So Roxy, in your bed. Get in your bed. In your bed. Good girl. Lay down. Stay. So I have just like a bathrobe tie that I'm using as a strap. You can use a belt, anything that you can kind of find to help support your legs while you're doing these stretches. So we're just going to start right down onto your back. So you center yourself on the mat and hug your legs in towards you. And you can do just a nice little gentle rock side to side. And then if you hold yourself centered, you can place your hands on your knees and draw little circles around so you're tracing your sacrum into the mat. And then reverse. And then let's keep your right leg. You can place your left foot flat onto the mat, or if it's available, extend that leg straight out. Just start by gently pulling your leg in towards you, being careful not to pull on your knee. And then you can take that right knee up and over towards your left shoulder, but keeping that right hip anchored to the mat. Remember your breath. And bringing both legs to center, we'll switch sides. You can place your right foot down or extend that right leg straight out, and then your left knee up and over towards your right side. And back to center. Give those legs a nice hug in towards you and take a breath. So we're going to place your feet flat onto the mat, and you can take whatever you're using for a strap and hook that over your right foot. So just go to the natural range of motion. So your leg might not be straight. You might have a bend to your knee. That's fine. Mostly you just want to feel a stretch in the back of that thigh, so in your hamstring. So gently pulling your leg in towards you. You can intensify the stretch by bringing your left leg straight out onto the mat. And just nice deep breaths in and out here. Keeping your side bodies long, so be careful not to scrunch up on that right side. It doesn't matter what your leg looks like. you want to just feel a gentle stretch in the back of that right leg. So be careful not to force your leg into a position you think it should be in. So from here, I like to just do a little rotation. So you're going to keep your leg where it is, but turn your toe and knee out to the side. So it's an external rotation, and you're spiraling from your hip. So be careful not to turn from your knee or just your foot. You're turning your whole thigh, and that's just going to hit your hamstring in a little bit of a different way. And then just ease off a little bit so you can turn your foot the opposite direction. So you turn your knee and your toe in, or an internal rotation. Remember that whole thigh is turning. You should feel just a little difference. Still hitting the back of your leg. So bend that leg in and we'll switch sides. So we'll place your strap onto your left foot and bring that left leg straight up to the ceiling. Gentle pull. Remember, your leg does not have to be completely straight, just wherever you need to have it so you feel a stretch in the back of that left leg. You can extend your right leg straight out onto the mat to intensify the stretch, and just nice deep breaths in and out here. And a lot of the times people are tighter on one side, so you might feel that your left leg's tighter than your right leg or vice versa. Now keeping your leg up will externally rotate. So you turn your knee and toe out to the side, remembering to turn through your hip. And then internally rotate. And bring your foot back to parallel, and we're going to switch sides again. So you're going to place your right foot into the strap, bringing that leg up to the ceiling, and you can bring your left leg straight out onto the mat to intensify. So keeping your right hip long on the mat, we're going to hold the strap with your left hand and bring your right arm out. You want to keep that right shoulder down, so make sure that you don't go over so far your right shoulder lifts up. So you're going to take your leg, and we're going to do two different angles here. So we're going to start lower. So you're going to let your leg go over to the left side, but it's going to be a little bit further away from your torso. So it's closer to knee over knee. And you can kind of play around with that stretch a little bit. So you should feel the stretch a little bit more in like your outer thigh. And then bringing your leg back up to the ceiling. This time you're going to pull your leg up and over. So you're bringing it up more towards your shoulder. And that stretch should shift even more to like the middle of your thigh here. So you feel on the outside of your leg. Bring your leg back up to the ceiling. Hold on with your right hand. Your left arm goes out to a T, and you pull your leg up and over to the right side. So you feel that inner thigh of your right leg stretch. And if your leg is bent, that's fine. Your leg might not go as far over, so it might just be a little bit. If this one's too much for you, you can go back to something that works better for you. And then we'll bring your leg back up to the ceiling, and we'll do that all over again on the other side. So you're going to place your left foot into the strap and bring your right leg straight out onto the mat. So it's just a gentle pull in towards you. Nice deep breath in and out. And then, oops, I messed that up. We added a little extra stretch on that side. I'm sure it can use it. So you're going to hold onto the strap with your right hand, and we're going to pull your leg over to the right side. So it's more knee over knee. My left side tends to be my tighter side. So this stretch, it's outer thigh, but closer to the back of your leg than the other variation we'll be doing. So you can move your leg a little bit to see if you can feel that stretch differently if you need to. You want to make sure that left hip stays down, left shoulder stays down. If you let it lift up, you're going to put the stretch more into your back, and you don't want to do that. We're stretching your hip and your leg. And then bring your leg back up to the ceiling, and this time you're going to go up and over to the right side. And bring your leg back up to the ceiling. We're going to hold on with your left hand and bring your leg up and over to the left side. So nice stretch on that inner thigh of your left leg. And just go to where it works for your body. If your leg needs to be bent a little bit, remember, if any of these stretches don't work for you, you can go back to something that does. Even if it's just the hugging your legs in and rocking side to side. And then bring your leg back up to the ceiling, and we can take that strap off of your foot, and we're going to give your legs another hug in towards you. And you can do that rock side to side, nice deep breath in and out. And placing your feet flat onto the mat, we're going to take your right ankle and cross it over your left thigh. Flex your right foot, and you can put your hand on your right knee and just push away from you. To intensify that, you lift your left leg up off of the ground, and your hands go between your legs and wrap around your left thigh, and just gentle pull in. You're trying to keep your left knee right over your hip, so you're not leaning over to the right side or letting that right hip pull you in towards it. You're pulling away from that right hip. And then let's switch sides. So place your right foot flat onto the mat. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Remember, you could just push that knee away from you if that's enough, or lift your right leg up and in towards you. Wrap your hands around your right thigh and lean just a little over to the right side. So that right knee is in line with your right hip. Flexing that left foot. And then let's just take both legs, give them a little hug in towards you. So bringing your feet flat onto the mat. So we're going to go back over to your right ankle over your left thigh. And from here, you're going to slide your legs together as much as you comfortably can. So you're kind of hooking your left leg with your right leg. Bring both arms out to your side. So you keep both shoulders down. And you just let your legs tip over to the right side. Take your time, especially if you have a sensitive back. So make sure this one feels okay to you. You should feel this in like your left hip area. And if you go to the wrong side, don't worry about it. We're doing both sides. So we're going to go right and left with this one. And bring your legs back up to center, and we'll go over to the other side. So you just let both legs tip over to the left side. Take your time, make sure it works for your body. Remember, go back to something else if this doesn't work for you. And you work towards your range of motion, so you might not get as far over, you might get further over. And pivot back to center. And just take a quick second, so we'll shake that out. If you want to bring your legs out, give them a quick shake, whatever works good for you. If you want to give your legs a hug in, take a breath. And we're going to go back to feet flat onto the mat. So taking your left ankle, crossing it over your right thigh, and then you can slide that leg over more. So you cross your legs as much as you comfortably can. And this time we're going to have your legs go over to the left side. So you're keeping both shoulders down. Remember, we'll be doing both directions, so if you do the opposite directions, no big deal. So you should feel the stretch on the outer right thigh. And then, so we'll go back up to center and over to the other side. So you let your legs tip over to the right, nice and easy. And back to center, and we'll give your legs a hug in towards you. And then stretch your arms and legs away from one another. Take a breath here. So turning onto your side, so this is one you might need a strap, you might not. So you can have that handy if you need it. And you want that straight line, so top of your head to your tail. And we're going to take your top leg and bend it in towards you. Grab your foot with your hand. If you cannot reach your foot, you can try to lasso your foot or even your shin with your strap and use that to pull instead. If you can, grab your foot, being careful that you're not pulling on that so you have space between your heel and your backside. So you're actually pushing your hips forwards. So you're almost like going more like a pelvic tilt. So you're curling your tail away from your heel, just cradling your foot with your hand, not applying pressure. And trying to keep your thigh parallel to the floor so that knee doesn't start to point up towards the ceiling. Alright, so let's take both of your legs and bend them way up and in towards you. This way your tail kind of curls under. So I'm going to take your hands and clasp them behind your head. And try to keep that nice straight line. And your top elbow is just going to go up to the ceiling. You can watch that elbow. And if it's available, that elbow goes back behind you just as far as you need it to go. So you feel a stretch through your upper side. So you should feel that arm that's opening back through your chest. If you feel this more in your back, you can try to curl your legs up towards you. If the stretch doesn't work, you can always try laying flat on your back just with your arms out to a T, and you might feel a stretch through your chest and your shoulder that way. And pivoting back to center. And let's flip over to the other side. So getting that straight line, hip and shoulder in line with the back edge of the mat. Remember, if you need your strap, you can try to lasso your foot or hook it around your shin, whatever is more available to you. And if you don't need it, you just cradle your foot in your hands. You want that thigh bone as close to parallel with the floor as you can get it. Curl your tail forwards. So you're trying to like pull your abdominals back, tail forwards, and just lengthen from the top of your head to your knee. And you should feel this in the top of your thigh. And then we're going to take both legs and bend them way up and in towards you. So your tail is kind of curling under, which will prevent you from pulling into your low back. You take your hands behind your head and relax down here. Try to get that straight line, and then top elbow up to the ceiling and to the wall behind you, just as far as it feels good to your body. So you should feel a stretch through that arm that's going back. And through like your chest, so it's kind of chest and shoulder. Remember, if this one doesn't work for you, you can try laying flat on your back with your arms out to a T. And just go to the range of motion that works for you. So you might not get halfway back, so just go to where you need to for you. And we'll go back to center. And from here, let's flip onto your belly, and we'll take a little stretch back. So if it feels okay to come up onto your knees and just sit back towards your heels. If this doesn't feel right for you, just flip back onto your back and hug your legs in like we did earlier. You can rest your forehead down. So you can start with your legs pulling as close together as it feels okay to you, and see how that stretch feels. And then from here, you can come on up and then just separate your knees to the edge of the mat, but keep your feet together. Sitting back towards your heels again, resting your forehead down, really reach with those fingertips. Make sure you're breathing, so nice big belly breaths, let your belly expand. If you want to walk your hands over towards one side. And then walk your hands over towards the other side. And bring your hands back towards center. So come on up to a seated position, and you can bring your legs straight out onto the mat. And take your right leg, bend your right leg in towards you, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. You're going to take your left arm, wrap it around that leg, sit tall, and twist in towards your leg. Just go as far as it feels okay to you. If being seated doesn't feel good to you, you can always try to bring yourself up on an elevated surface. So you can try to sit on something like a book, or go back onto your back and go through some stretches that are similar to these laying flat on your back, just like we started, like that first stretch, knee across over to your opposite shoulder. So making your way back to center, and we'll switch sides. You bring your right leg straight out, left leg crosses over your right arm around that left leg, sit tall and twist in towards your leg. So remember, you always sit up and spiral up. And back to center. So let's have a seat with your feet together, knees out to the side. This is another one you could do laying flat on your back if seated doesn't work for you. So you're gonna wrap your hands around your toes, sit tall, and you can give yourself just a gentle lean forwards. And then if you'd like, you can curl forwards and you'll feel that stretch change just a little bit. And slowly coming up to a seated position. If it's available, you can find a cross-legged position, finding those sit bones, sitting tall. Remember, if you need to be on an elevated surface, you can. And let's just start by inhaling, reaching up, and then press that away. To add on, you can inhale, reach up, exhale, twist, and press. You can grab onto the leg you're twisting towards, hand behind you, and then lift and just twist as far as it feels okay to your body. And you can stay center if you need to, just during the nice breathing up and reaching down. Remember, if it doesn't feel okay to your shoulders to reach up all the way, halfway is fine, or whatever works for your body. And then inhale back up. Exhale to the opposite direction, sitting tall as you twist. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, press that away. And then feel like you're pushing your hands through the floor. Lift tall through the top of your head. Bring your ear over to your shoulder, very similar to how we started in the beginning. If you need to do these standing instead, that's fine. Be careful getting up. And then you bring your chin to your underarm. And lift your cheek to the sky. And to the other side, so ear to your shoulder. And chin to your underarm. and cheek to the sky. And back to center. Take one more nice deep breath in. Reach up and exhale, press that away. And thank you so much for joining me for the stretching exercises. You can view this video as well as others on donsbodyshop.com. Don't forget to like my Facebook page and to follow me on YouTube.